Somebody's mother. The woman was old and ragged and grey, and bent with the chill of a winter's day. The streets were white with the recent snow, and the woman's feet with age were slow. Meanings: ragged, old and torn; grey, sad; recent, new. Figures of speech: the woman was old and ragged and grey, repetition; the streets were white with the recent snow, alliteration; and the woman's feet with age were slow, inversion. The rhyme scheme is AABB. At the crowded crossing she waited long, jostled aside by the careless throng of human beings who passed her by, unheeding the glance of her anxious eye. Meanings: crossing, place where you cross the road; jostled, pushed; throng, crowd; unheeding, not paying attention; anxious, worried. Figures of speech: at the crowded crossing she waited long is alliteration or inversion. Unheeding the glance of her anxious eye is synecdoche. The rhyme scheme is AABB. Down the street with laughter and shout, glad in the freedom of school let out, came happy boys like a flock of sheep, hailing the snow piled white and deep. Past the woman so old and grey, hastened the children on their way. Meanings: glad, happy; hailing, welcoming; piled, collected; hastened, walked quickly. Figures of speech: came happy boys like a flock of sheep is simile, and the rhyme scheme is AABBCC. None offered a helping hand to her, so weak and timid, afraid to stir, lest the carriage wheels or the horse's feet should trample her down in the slippery street. Meaning: none, no one; timid, shy; stir, move; lest, in case; carriage, horse cart; trample, stamp; slippery, icy. Figures of speech: none offered a helping hand, alliteration; should trample her down the slippery street, alliteration; and the rhyme scheme is AABB. At last came out of the merry troop the gayest boy of all the group. He paused beside her and whispered low, "I'll help you across if you wish to go." Meaning: merry, cheerful; troop, group; gayest, happiest; paused, stopped; whispered, speak softly. Figures of speech: he paused beside her and whispered low is tautology, and the rhyme scheme is AABB. Her aged hand on his strong young arm she placed, and so, without hurt or harm, he guided the trembling feet along, proud that his own were young and strong. Then back again to his friends he went, his young heart happy and well content. Meanings: aged, old; trembling, shaking; content, satisfied. Figures of speech: her aged hand on a strong young arm is inversion or antithesis, and so without hurt or harm is tautology. Then back again to his friends he went is inversion. His young heart happy and well content is synecdoche. The rhyme scheme is AABBCC. She's somebody's mother, boys, you know. For all she's aged and poor and slow, and someone sometime may lend a hand to help my mother, you understand. If ever she's old and poor and grey, and her own dear boy so far away. Meanings: lend a hand means to help. Figures of speech: she's somebody's mother, boys, you know, is inversion. For all she's aged and poor and slow is repetition. And someone somewhere may lend a hand is repetition. If ever she's old and poor and grey is repetition. Rhyme scheme is AABBCC. Somebody's mother bowed low her head in her home that night, and the prayer she said was, "God be kind to that noble boy who's somebody's son and pride and joy." Meanings: noble, good; pride, happiness. Figures of speech. In her home that night, and a prayer she said is inversion, and the rhyme scheme is AABB. Explanation. It was a winter evening. An old woman was waiting to cross a busy road near a school. She was a lone woman, although she was very old. Suddenly, children came out of the school as it closed for the day. They passed the lonely old woman, but none paid any attention to the old lady. One of the boys, who was very cheerful and lively, saw this lady waiting to cross the road. He ran to her and helped her cross the road. Later, he explained to his friends that one day his own mother could be in a similar situation and that someone else would help her. At home that night, the old lady prayed for the boy who had helped her cross the road. Her heart was overflowing with gratitude and pride. She prayed, God, be kind to him who is somebody's son.